Are you subscribed to the channel yet? Do it now. We're gonna get through this time together. All right, so I'm outside one of my regular Goodwills here, and it looks like they are still accepting donations, which is, I suppose, a good sign. I am going to refrain from going in because I feel like, you know, it's just I guess our civic duty to try to keep this thing at bay, and I don't want to contribute to the mess here. So while I need inventory, I had to drop some packages off at the post office again for the second time today, which is, you know, why I'm back in my car so soon. But looks like the deliveries are coming in. Truck is right there, and there's somebody parked right there ready to pull in for donations, another van right there. So I mean, it's like business as usual at Goodwill. I'm gonna pull around to the front here in a second. I'm gonna shut my camera off because I don't like to video while I drive, and we're gonna take a look at and see maybe what the parking lot looks like and see if there's lots of people inside. Okay, 10 seconds later, here's the front of the store, and it looks very, very sparse. Not a lot of cars here. This particular location is usually absolutely packed, and there's easily 30 to 40 resellers that come through here on a daily basis. I mean, it's just insane. But this parking lot is thin. So no national lockdown yet, no closure of all businesses for 2 weeks, although that's probably headed in our direction here. Very slow, but like I said, I'm not going in. I just don't want to take the chance. And I'm going to drive by Sam's Club and see what their parking lot looks like, because they have been pretty good at restocking paper towels and toilet paper and stuff like that. It's actually where I get my bubble wrap from. So I'm going to take a spin past that place next and just see what their parking lot looks like. But Goodwill, now dead as a doornail, and not a bad thing. Probably not going to be doing this one either, for sure. There are some supplies I could get, but it looks, I mean, it looks relatively busy, although there's not a ton of people coming out right now. The parking lot is pretty full. I don't know if you can really gauge just how full this place is, but I think what I'm going to do is, for club members, when the place opens first thing in the morning, that's when this place will be at best sanitized. So that's probably when I'll go in. And, you know, hopefully it'll be a little bit slower. You get in and out. I'll go in and grab a few things and be done with it. I don't like doing it, you know, even an hour or 2 hours into the day, because the sanitation process gets slower and slower, despite the assurance from the staff and higher ups that they're, you know, constantly keeping the place clean. So I never believed that. So I'm probably just going to call it quits on being out in public, and then we'll go home and maybe get some listings done. I'm not really sure, but yep, I'm not feeling it, and I'm not going to participate in it. Boy, what strange times we are living in, huh? I mean, what can I tell you? It's sort of like a jungle out there, although in the last day or two, as you've seen on just those past clips there, it's starting to dwindle, and the self-isolation thing is a real, it's here. It's really here. So I want to give you 4 actionable things that you can do right now as a reseller while we go through this global pandemic and all of these unknowns. And the first one starts with and that's very simple. Get to your death pile. There's money waiting for you at the bottom of that pile. So get that stuff listed. Set a goal for yourself. Maybe it's 10 things a day. So even in the next 2 weeks, let's say you've got 10 things listed from your death pile today. That's 140 more additional listings. If your average sale price is $30, it's a lot of money too. And my suspicion is, from the eBay side of things, you're going to sell through things a little bit quicker than you normally would, because people are really, really stuck indoors. They can't get out. And it's probably going to get a little bit more rigid with the rules state by state on where you can and cannot go and what you can and cannot do. So attack the death pile. Sometimes that, I feel like that can go without saying, but if you waited and you procrastinated, that is going to work on your behalf too. The next thing is inventory. So inventory related. So they don't want you to leave, right? If you don't absolutely have to, then how do you get into the stores? I mean, I know in some areas of the world the Goodwills are closing. In my particular area, they've shortened the hours, and I think that as the pressure from the government comes down on the rest of the businesses that aren't able to stay open, as more pressure mounts for them to close, they may just do that. And then if you're a heavy thrift store or reseller, you're not going to have inventory to get to. Facebook Marketplace is great. It's a win-win on the marketplace because people are going to want to sell things to get some cash on hand, and then you need inventory. So it works both ways. I have a group, I'm the admin of a local group here in my city of about 8,000 to 9,000 people, and the activity has been pretty good still. So I don't see really much of a downturn. So people still listing, people still making offers, and transactions happening, and you don't even have to meet in public. You can use the ship feature if that's what you want to do. Obviously, exercise extreme precaution because this is a very contagious virus, but Facebook Marketplace is an excellent resource for you to use when you don't have the luxury of going to your thrift stores or garage sales or estate sales or wherever it is you're getting your inventory from. So don't sleep on Facebook Marketplace. It will help you in an interesting time like this. The third suggestion I want to give to you, especially for those that do this full time, is make sure your resume is updated. Now, there's a resource that you can use. It's SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives. It's score.org, SCORE.org. You might be able to get resume writing assistance through that resource. They also have coronavirus updates, and you won't be able to go into a local office, but I am making the guesstimation that they will have a lot of online help ready for you to go. So it's always good to have a backup plan ready to go. And let's face it, a lot of people just got, completely laid off. The restaurant industry, movie theaters now, we can't go into gyms. Like, a lot of people are going to be hurting for money. Even resellers who might benefit from the online orders on a short-term basis, it's always good to have that document ready and updated, and you can probably have a retired executive look it over and help you in the event things really, really, really get tight. So utilize that resource. They will be online. They will be available to help you. And if you've got a lot of eggs in the reselling basket, it certainly will not hurt you to put feelers out, see what's out there, because even in the midst of all of what's going on, it's going to end. It will get better. It will subside, and it will never hurt to develop additional contacts in the event you want to take even something like maybe on a part-time basis. Just have that document ready to go. That's the third point. The fourth one, I feel like, is the most important one, and I'm going to give you the SBA's coronavirus website address because you might qualify, and I don't know how you have structured your business, whether you haven't structured it at all, or you're a sole proprietor, LLC, taxed as a C Corp, S Corp. I don't know how you've structured your business. Do you have W-2 employees that rely on you? You might be able to get an SBA loan. And for those of you that like to take advantage of credit card points and finance some of your purchases with debt, whereas your credit card is 20-25% interest, the SBA loans are capped at 3.75%. So in the event you have suffered an economic hardship from what is going on here, you might be able to get a loan from them. So the website address, I'm reading it from my computer screen, and I will put it up on the screen here, is sba.gov/funding-programs/disaster-assistance. Now, when you get to that website, you'll want to click apply for assistance, but I believe after you click that link, it's going to take you to check to see if your area qualifies as a disaster. So they're not going to start dispersing loan money until that actually happens. There are certain states from the coronavirus, or certain areas in certain states that have been declared disasters, so you can apply. And I think maybe Texas, maybe California, don't quote me on that, you're already there. Here in Ohio, we have not, this particular county that I live in has not been declared a disaster, so we really can't apply to get that SBA funding. But as soon as that happens, you'll want to have something in place to make sure that you have the potential to get possibly some money from from this resource, which would really, really help you float a couple of months, even if it's, and they're giving out loans, I believe, up to upwards of 2 million. You know, as much as you can possibly get, that would help you, I suggest you do. What I have heard based on a phone call I made with the SBA, I was able to speak to one of their agents, and excuse me, while we can't apply yet, the suggestion from this agent was have sort of a synopsis, I don't know if it's a paragraph or two, of what your business is and how exactly you are going to suffer as a result of what has happened. Did you have to lay off employees? Are the sources that you source from, have they cut you off? I can tell you, just not too long ago, this morning, Amazon, for Amazon FBA sellers, made the decision to shut off having inbound shipments taken. So FBA sellers can't send stuff into FBA right now. So if you're a merchant fulfilled seller on the Amazon platform, you can probably still sell stuff, but that's going to hurt a lot of people. So, you know, your supply chain is really, really kind of messed up here. And so generalize or itemize exactly how your business is suffering, and that will give you a little bit of a head start when it comes time to start applying for this particular loan if you feel like you need it. So there's 4 things you can do right now, just a kind of a hurry up and wait situation, but it's some actionable stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the Dad Planet channel, subscribe right now, please, because I'll have a lot more information coming out as the weeks and possibly the months go on. There won't be as many thrift run, thrift haul videos, but where we can get them videoed and get them up and rendered and I can get my hands on inventory, we'll certainly do that. But I want this to be a resource for you as well. And just to say, like, don't panic. We've gone through stuff like this before in the world. There's a blueprint out there for us to follow. We will get through it. Keep your head up, and we'll see you on the next video.